I hope this is fully recording everything now. Otherwise, oh boy, I'm in for a massive waste of time. I'm gonna try and make a relatively comprehensible guide, and if there's anything you forget, you can go back to it. I will be starting with the menu. Yes, yeah, really. This thing over here, you can pretty much ignore it unless there is an event, in which case there will be something at the end which will link you to something in the store where you can get a free pack. That's it. Don't know why I started with that. Okay. This is the party. You can show who's in here. When you have multiple people in here, someone will have a crown next to their name. That is the party leader. If you are the party leader, you can select somebody and then select set as party leader. This opens your friends list. You can move people to favorites and they will always display at the top. Send an invite. Just checking invites. This is sort of info about you. You can check your stats. This will eventually not matter, but your level. Your reputation, where you can check your negative points and your positive points. Damn, that went down. Okay. Points are temporary. They wear off after a certain amount of time. So if you get in deep trouble, it'll wear off eventually. If you leave too many games, you will eventually get punished in a way where the more you leave the games, the stronger the punishments will be, and the punishments are always if you leave, it'll prevent you from playing, and if you kill too many people, well, same thing. If you say something that gets flagged in text chat or in voice chat and somebody reports you for it, then you will be muted. You can still hear people and you can still see their chats, but they cannot hear you or see what you say unless they manually unmute you. You can check your rank and your elo. Stats for ranked. You don't have to worry about that right now. Career. Just operator stats, how well you do. Replays. Under the career section, in case you don't want to click through there. If you want to go back and see something in the game, you have a decently long list of games that are kept and recorded. And then you can go back through, skip around through the rounds, and go back and see it. You can also view specific players and have an overhead view or free cam. When you're in the replay, it'll show you the controls at the bottom. Renown and credits. Credits are always paid. The only things that are only credits are like crossover bundles in the shop, the Paragon skins, the elites, and then some occasional seasonal skin bundles. The main seasonal skin bundle, not these are returning, but when they come out the first time, they will be able to be purchased for Renown. After they come back, they will only be credits. Renown is obtained just by playing through games. If you want to farm up Renown, spam quick matches. You can boost with your packs. Sorry, not your packs, your boosters. renown boosters, you get more renown. Obviously, battle point boosters. This is for battle pass XP. I hope you're not insane enough to try and cap out your daily renown cap. It's at like 22,000 or something. If you do that, get help. Alright. When you're a party leader or when you're solo, whatever you played last, it'll say play again. If you're in a party, it'll say wait in shooting range. Browsing through the playlists, quick match, unranked, ranked, Siege Cup. I'm not even gonna bother explaining Siege Cup. Don't worry about it. You probably shouldn't do it. Quick match. The settings for bomb, secure area, and hostage. Bomb is where the attackers have to try and plant the diffuser in one of the bomb site rooms, and the defenders have to either prevent that from happening, or if it happens, they need to defuse it. On defense, if everybody dies, like everybody, so the last two people trade, defense will win. If time runs out, defense will win. Once the diffuser is planted, it's the opposite. If everybody dies, attack will win. If time runs out on the diffuser, attack will win. When time is running out, you can plant at the last second and it'll push it into overtime. If you exit the plant, you'll instantly lose if you're on attack. So in that period, the attacker is forced to plant, otherwise they will lose the round. But it'll allow them to plant anyways. After the diffuser is planted, if the time is running out and there's no time to defuse left, when they try to defuse, it will not go into a further overtime where they can defuse. They will simply not have enough time, and they'll just lose in the middle of defusing. It's kind of not even, but the game is mostly defender-sided anyways. Secure area. There would be one room in which you would try and have to, you know, bunker down and prevent the other people from taking it, the attackers. If there's an equal number of attackers and defenders in the same room, there will be a tie, and after like, I don't know, a minute of a tie, it'll just go to the next round, I think. You can either win in secure area by pushing the defenders out of the secure area room and holding it until you capture it, or if you're on defense, waiting for the time to run out while you have control of the area. Hostage. Usually in one of the normal bomb sites, there will be a hostage in place of the bomb chassis. There will only be one hostage. And then defense, you just protect the hostage. You can team kill the hostage. Both sides can. And then as an attacker, you want to get in, take the hostage, and escort to the outskirts of the map where there is a red flare, and then drop the hostage down. If the enemy team downs the hostage, you want to ideally prevent them from resuscitating the hostage, because then it'll count as them killing the hostage, and then you'll get a free win. Secure area and hostage have incredibly long queue times. If you keep all of them on, you will almost always get bomb. Very rare to get one of these when bomb is on. Everybody plays bomb. If you turn these off, matchmaking will take decently longer, but you will get into them. You will probably end up with hostage most of the time. These are not really applicable for anything else. Hostage is sort of similar to the Rainbow's Magic event, secure area. Can't think of anything. And then these modes are only within Quick Match. That's it for the Quick Match settings. The maps will occasionally rotate in and out. Quick Match will always have the ranked pool, as well as a few non-ranked maps, which would in this case be Stadium 2020, Favela, Presidential Plane, and Yacht, and then Stadium Bravo and House. Stadium Bravo and Stadium 2020 will cycle in and out, as well as Favela, Presidential Plane, Yacht, and House will never be in ranked ever. Unranked, you can swap between ranked maps, non-ranked maps, and all maps. Oh, okay. Skyscraper, Coastline, Emerald Plains, Outback, Stadium Bravo, and Stadium 2020 are the ones that cycle out of the map pool in between seasons. Some of the ones that are in ranked will get turned into non-ranked, and some of the non-ranked will get turned into ranked. These never gonna be in there. Just play on ranked maps, because when you play in ranked, you'll have more experience, and also people generally know what they're doing better on the ranked maps. Ranked. Since the newer updates, they've made it where you get 5 placement matches that will determine your starting rank for the season. That will also influence your ELO gain and loss. They made the gain and loss more equal now, which is not great. If you have more than 0 RP and you lose, and it would normally go below 0, it will get set to 0 and it'll say rank loss prevention activated. You can only derank after you lose when you were at 0 RP for the rank. There are 5 ranks per category of rank. So it goes from 5 at the lowest to 1 at the highest. If you rank up from something 1, you go up to the next section. If you derank from something 5, you go down to the previous section. The ranks would be copper, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, emerald, diamond, and champion in that order. Also, as the newer ranking system, I believe there's now a 5-to-1 rank segment area in champions. It used to just be saying champion, and then once you got high enough elo into champion, you get the global server ranking. Now there's the same 5-to-1 ranks plus the old system. Hope that makes sense. They've also done this now where you need to play a certain amount of matches before you can get your charm. That's fair. So whatever your peak rank is, once you hit that bracket, you will get the charm for that season for that rank. So copper, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, emerald, diamond, champion. They generally get more detailed and flashy the higher the rank. It says now for these rewards, if you lose 1, it goes up by 1. If you win 1, it goes up by 2. When you... Okay, I guess they changed it for this. It used to be where once you got to a certain rank in gold, you would get a special headgear, and then we did that for like 3 seasons. Now they've just made it at the end of this loot pool. But for this season in question, it is Sledge. These will never come back. Once the season is over, this is permanently unobtainable, just like the rank charms for this season. These competitive coins, you can also get them from the Siege Cup. You probably won't be doing that. Those are for specific packs. I'll get back to these in a moment. Packs within the locker. Alpha packs, don't buy these. You get them for free just by playing. Delta packs, these are exclusively from the Battle Pass. There used to be Bravo packs. Now they've swapped to Delta packs, which are pretty similar, except they have some returning skins, and they now allow for duplicates. Bravo packs did not allow for duplicate pulls. You can also get these, which are like reskins of the $40 gun skins. Absolute BS. Black Ice is, wow. You no longer get a token for a free redeemable thing for the pack collection. It used to be where once you hit level 100 you would get a token and you could choose something from the packs, one of your choice per season, and then you reclaim it. Now you just get a handful of 3 Delta packs. I guess that's good. Black Ice packs, also from the Battle Pass. These were introduced this season, or last season. I don't know. Doesn't matter. You get one at the beginning of the Battle Pass, right here, and you get one at the end of the Battle Pass, right here. These, for some reason, allow for duplicates. Show the content. So Black Ice are always blue. It's just called Black Ice. With these packs, there are reskins for all of the Black Ice skins already made. Green, pink, purple, and red. Pink is slightly rarer than all the other colors, so if you get that, lucky you. Competitive packs. These cost 5,000 of these. You will probably almost always just get them from playing through ranked. Siege Cup. Siege Cup has Siege Cup exclusive outfits. They're supposed to look more competitive. Not really a big deal. Some of them are kind of interesting. Back over to here, browse playlists. Now into training. Landmark drills, you pick a map, it'll show you a image of a room, and then you have to get to that room. There will also be beeping coming from that room, and then you find the little tablet thing in that room, and then it's like, congratulations, you're starting to learn the map, and you keep doing that as long as you want. Clear house, you pick a map. You can pick to play as a defender, attacker, or random. Whichever one you get put into the game as, you cannot swap to the other team. So if you're a defender, you cannot play as an attacker unless you remake a clear house match. Pre-destruction. So there will be rotates in between some rooms. All the hatches will be already opened, and all the outside doors will be opened, I believe. AI type. Idle dummy just kind of sits there. Kiri's Legion, like the T-Hunt terrorists, from the old version, except now it's Kiri's Legion. They will attack you. Difficulty. The AI for the bots, not that great. Beginner, they, I would assume, roam around less, and their aim is kind of bad. They intentionally miss to the side of you. They're still tracking you dead on, except they'll shoot like over your shoulder, and when you move around, they'll keep shooting that distance from your shoulder. If you stand in their way for too long, they'll kill you anyways. Advanced, same thing, except they actually kill you faster, and they roam around a little bit more. Headshot only. You will not do damage to them unless you shoot them in the head. So, if you think you're spoiled and you're cracked, go for this. It decent training to get you to lock on the headshots rather than body shots. Field training. This is just going against a 5-stack of AI, and then you can either, well, it's sort of like a quick match, but against AI, and then you can choose to either have AI teammates or not fill your team with AI teammates, and it's just you versus the 5-stack of bots. Deathmatch. Oh, for field training, you can also choose a map like Clearhouse. Alright, deathmatch. Free-for-all and team deathmatch. You can choose which one you want. Free-for-all is 10 people, I think, like a normal game, all versus each other. You can pick whoever you want. People can have duplicate operators. It doesn't matter. You can pick from attack and defense. Team deathmatch. Same exact thing, except it's 5v5. You can have attackers and defenders on the same team. But you respawn for both, and you both get to a kill cap for your team of, I believe, 75, and then it'll end. Shooting range. You can wait, or you can go in manually. Get to that in a second. Operators, attackers, and defenders. You can click one. You can also feature an operator by going to them and saying showcase this operator. Operator specialty tips. These are for the Pathfinder operators, the attackers, and the defenders. You do a small set of quests, and then you will unlock that operator. The Pathfinder operators all cost 1,000 renown. If you do the quests, after you buy them first, you will get that 1,000 renown back at the end of the quests instead of receiving the operator. They all have different quests as well. Pathfinders are the top row for both. Usually these ones, you generally have the front segment. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I don't care for looking at it. After the Pathfinder operators, the other operators have a significant increase in purchasing price. I believe it's like 10,000 for like these guys. Once it gets up to here, I think it's around 20,000-ish. The newer operators are more expensive, so the ones down at the bottom are more expensive. You can sort by the type of play style that the operators have. They're similar, sort of, but you know, there are differences between attack and defense for what you sort for. Obviously, there will not be anti-entry on attacker. Sounds good. Okay. Back to the locker. It'll tie into operators in a moment. Latest, the most recent skins you get, it'll show up here. Today, early this month, sorted by time. It'll cut off after the month. You can sort, doesn't really matter. Appearance. This is strictly for operator outfits, headgears, and uniforms. You can sort by the specific operator. Just going through, you know, easy sort instead of having to click on every operator manually and checking what you have. Same with uniforms. You can also sort by the rarity, the name, which is weird, and release. Release date, of course. They've changed the rarity, so now purple means it has changed the physical model of the operator's outfit. Same with gun skins and attachment skins. Well, not really attachment skins. Gun skins, uniforms, and headgear. Blue means it's like it's got the same model as the normal outfit, but it does have a different like texture to it. Green means same model, same style. It's just got like a different camo on it. With gun skins, you see that down in weapons. Weapon skins, attachment skins, charms. There are some gun-specific attachment skins and weapon skins, as well as operators that share the same gun. Some skins are specific to that one operator with that gun. You can't use it on another operator with the same gun. Those are usually more for events. Same thing here. The difference is with legendary, it's got extra special model with usually an animation or like very odd. This doesn't actually change the model for purple. Well, sometimes it does, but Black Ice is purple. Charms. You can put charms on anyone. Operator showcase. So you can have the portrait that shows up in kill feeds and when you're picking an operator. That's the actual icon. You can get different ones in the battle pass and from event packs and normal packs. Card backgrounds. You can put these on anybody. There is like a legendary background thing which you'll technically have multiple of. You can only put that on operators that you have the elite for. And then also you'll get one for your standing. You can only use the one for your current standing. Animated cards. I don't have any. These are just for those paid packs. The pricey ones. Victory celebrations. This is your MVP animation if you're the top of your team at the end of a match and you won. Devices. You have drone skins. Put on anyone. Some are pay to win, but by pay to win I mean just pull packs to win. I don't think that there's a paid only drone skin that I've heard of, except for the ones that stand out a whole lot from the esports. So you could use these to blend in beneath things. That could be good. Gadget skins. Shields count as gadgets, so these would be for Fuse specifically. This Fuse's shield, you can tell because it's bland, has nothing on it. Aruni's gadgets. Oh, Azami's. Wow. Not that complicated. Oh, this is Fuse. This is just... I don't even know. Doesn't really matter. Oh, this is putting on anyone, I think. So you can get skins from packs, you can get skins from events, you can pay for skins, like these are from elites. Now they've started putting the skins in the battle pass. Wow. Not that big of a deal. You can favorite items for some reason. Whatever. Don't know why this is favorited. Back to operators. You can click on an operator and try them out in the shooting range. What? Also, you can sort and look through the guns in the locker. If you unlock like a gun skin or some cosmetic thing for an operator, you can equip it to them even if you don't have them. And then when you view them, you'll see that you have it equipped. Obviously, you just can't use them yet. When you unlock something like a gun skin, it'll show what it's for, obviously. It'll also show the operators with that gun. Wow, a lot of talking. Now for viewing the actual guns and the different types of guns. Assault rifles, shotguns, slug shotguns, machine pistols, normal pistols, and then DMRs. And then also you've got Kali sniper rifle, yeah. When you view a weapon, you can see the damage it does to a body shot. There will be reduced damage to limb shots, and headshots are one shot for a kill. Fire rate, so there's no burst weapons, there's only single shot and fully automatic, in which case it'll show the RPM, rounds per minute. Duh. Then there's destruction. So low destruction means you have to shoot a lot of bullets into soft walls and floors and hatches and whatnot to make a hole through the destructible surface. Full means if you shoot a wall, it will break. With Kali, you can shoot from incredibly far back and it'll always break it. Then there's also medium, in which case if you're close up, it'll break it. If you're farther away, it'll do virtually nothing. Suppressors do decrease the destruction of the weapon it is equipped on. Some things such as Kali sniper cannot equip barrel attachments like a suppressor. Other weapons such as Solid Snake's pistol, Zero's pistol, and Caveira's pistol have a suppressor that you cannot take off. On defense, everybody has the hollow sights, red dot sights, and reflex sights. You ADS exactly the same with all of these. These are the non-magnifying sights. Then there's also the iron sights, which do shorten the time it takes to ADS your weapon. Most iron sights tend to block the bottom half of your screen more, so I guess look slightly below head level, and then when you see them, lock on with it. Or if you're close enough, then go for head level. Then there are the magnifying sights and the telescopic sights. Okay. Let's see here. Sense, marksman rifle. Magnified and telescopic. Magnified are the 2.5 times magnification, and telescopic are 3 times magnification. When people talk about the 1.5, they mean the magnified A before it was the magnified A. It used to be 1.5 times magnification with a smaller dot in the center. So they just removed it from operators and they turned it into a 2.5. The magnified B is the ACOG. When people talk about an ACOG sight, they mean this one. Magnified C. This is a more uncommon sight to use, but it's alright. If you like it, go for it. Telescopic. Oh boy, real zoomy. You'll be looking straight into someone's nose hairs with this. Each sight has their downsides. The magnified sights have the same ADS time, which is more than the non-magnifying, which is more than the iron sights. Now, see with this sight, it'll block different parts of your screen when you're ADS'd. The ACOG has very wide sides. They all have their pros. They all have their pros, they all have their cons. Pick the one that you think suits you the most. Barrel attachments. Oh, not the best example. Let's see here. Let's go with Alibi. Barrel attachments. These are all of the barrel attachments. There's none, which does nothing to change your recoil. This is the base recoil. If you do not customize a weapon, it'll have the flash hider on it. It'll have the hollow A on it, and it'll have the vertical grip on it for the ones that are applicable. Some guns do not have a grip. Most can have a barrel attachment, some do not. And then you can change the sight for every gun except for lots of pistols, almost all pistols. And then, let me rephrase that. You cannot change the sight of any pistol unless it's a machine pistol. And then, something such as, you know, almost exclusively Kali Sniper, you cannot change the sight for. With Glaz, he has a flip sight. With Glaz, flip sight always the same. Whatever optic you put onto Glaz's DMR will be displayed in front of your flip sight. It matters a lot. Just experiment with it. Back to the barrel attachments. Sort of sidetracked. Flash hider, as it says, reduces vertical recoil. Compensator reduces the side-to-side jitter when you're shooting. Suppressor, same recoil as no barrel attachment, but it sort of hides the bullet trails. It removes the flash from the front of your gun, and it muffles the noise. The muffled sound is a lot better at distance than it is up close, so if you're shooting from far away, basically they can't hear you. The only thing they will hear is the bullets hitting the objects near you. Also, if you're shooting somebody with a suppressor, they will not have the arrow indicator showing the direction that they're getting shot from. Muzzle brake. When you click to shoot, it reduces the recoil. So for fully automatic weapons, it'll reduce the first bullet recoil. For DMRs, it'll just reduce the recoil. Overall, as in vertical and horizontal. So a little bit of both, only for first bullet on automatic. Best as you can get on DMR. Extended barrel. Slightly increases the damage of your weapon. Maybe slightly increases the destruction. Just because your gun can have the extended barrel option does not mean it is worth it. For some guns, it doesn't make a lick of a difference. Why? Well, operators have a set amount of health, and the gun does a set amount of damage. The little bit of damage for you shooting them head on, for what it changes, it may not matter at all, because you would already either do enough to kill them in a certain amount of bullets and it's just barely over their HP, or I don't know. Extended barrel makes a big difference in some guns that do less or like medium damage, because it'll do just enough where you shoot one less bullet to kill your enemy. You know, I guess if you're in Pro League, the little bit could make a big difference when you're using your gadgets to do the remaining damage, and they're like ticked down on like barely any HP. Never use no barrel attachment. Always use one. For more vertical recoil weapons, use a compensator. For some, well, I guess it kind of depends. If you're good at pulling down, use a compensator. If it's mostly vertical and you don't like to pull down, I guess use a flash hider. You do kind of sacrifice your overall long range accuracy, because you do have the side-to-side jitter when you're shooting. Suppressor will slightly decrease damage through soft walls and wall banks and floor banks, etc., etc. Through barricades, same thing. So if you're shooting through two walls with a suppressed P90 and you headshot them, I think there's a chance it will just straight up almost kill them, but not quite. So, whatever. You can shoot through people. This might decrease damage through people, so collateral kills might be harder. Lasers. Generally don't use it if you're holding long angles. Only put lasers on something where you're not going to be holding a long angle. So if you have a super shorty, put a laser on it, because you know, you might need it. Depends on how you're playing. The laser on your screen might not be the same as it is for the enemy. The laser will show a dot for where you were looking. So if you were looking through a doorway or onto a doorway and you have a laser on your gun, they will know that you're looking at them because they can see the laser on the doorway. Also, depending on like how elliptical the shape of the laser dot is, they can tell the angle that you're looking at them, and they can infer where you are. Most of the time, don't use the laser. Grips. Like I said, some guns do not have a grip option. For the ones that don't have a grip, it'll default to basically functioning as a horizontal grip. Horizontal grip. You run faster, you walk faster. Tiny speed buff. Keep in mind, when you're ADS, everybody walks at exactly the same speed. Doesn't matter if you're crouched, doesn't matter if you're prone, doesn't matter if you're standing. Always the same speed when moving around while ADS'd. Angled grip. You reload faster. Better on LMGs if you use an LMG, because they take a very long time to reload, and also the recoil is not even that bad. Depending on your operator and your gun, this might suit your play style. It's not like, oh, this gun totally needs to reload faster, it's so bad. No, most guns, you know, ARs and whatnot, they're decent. this is more your preference depending on how you play. Since, you know, newer players are not as egotistical, this isn't a big deal. Though it does help when you're being swarmed, because you can have your gun up faster. Generally, hard to remember this sometimes, swap to your secondary instead of reloading if you're pressed for time. Vertical grip just reduces vertical recoil, just like the flash hider. If you want the best of both worlds, you can put a compensator and a vertical grip to reduce both. It'll have a similar effect to the muzzle brake on the DMR, except for fully automatic weapons. Gun skins, usually not like super horrible for advantages. Attachment skins do matter. It'll change the color of the sight on your gun, which could help you focus more sometimes, could be maybe more distracting. I don't use skins on Alibi, obviously, because I want to blend in with the gadget. So for that, horizontal grip, technically no barrel attachment. I put compensator because it's so tiny they won't even know. Stay ADS'd with your gun if you want to hold the same pose. They can see a difference. Also, I have a skin on this, right? This does not have a skin. If they see you have black ice in your back pocket, they're gonna blow your head off. Generally, pick a secondary gadget that plays around your operator gadget. Now, more in depth for the different types of weapons. ARs. I mean, what do you expect? It's an AR. ARs typically have higher kick first bullet recoil. SMGs, not so much. That's not an SMG. Ignore that. Submachine guns. Sorry, no. Specifically SMGs, not submachine pistols, but submachine guns. That's an assault rifle. Gulp. Submachine guns shoot faster than assault rifles do. There might be some exceptions with like Thorn and I don't know, DR4C, right? Shoot faster, less damage. This is better for getting headshots and swinging and spraying. Why? Some guns, like the F2, shoot so fast, as long as you basically glance over them with your gun out, you'll get a headshot and you'll win the gunfight. 980 RPM. Insane. It does show the recoil pattern. I should have mentioned this earlier. Here. This shows from where you're aiming. You shoot the first bullet. The second bullet will be in that range, and that shows generally how far over the gun could move. The density of the color shows where it's more likely to land. If you move to something else, like a shotgun, when you're ADS and you spam shooting, this is, you know, goes up more the more you shoot, spreads more, whatever. Actually, that's kind of odd for the shotgun. Imagine that, but on an AR. I mean, so when I was talking about the barrel attachments, muzzle brake reduces. Oh, yeah. See how tight that is? Generally even spacing. Muzzle brake reduces the first bullet gap. If I hover over this, since it's individual clicking because it's semi-automatic, it's the general recoil that's decreased. Now, if you go over to something that's automatic. See how it's got that big gap and then small gaps in between the colors? If I go to muzzle brake, now it's all even. Some guns, like Buck's AR, generally do better with the muzzle brake on it, like I have. Oh, yeah, this is a ray gun. Okay. Even, looks pretty nice. If I put a compensator on it, look at the big difference in between those. If you're ever spraying, you think, wow, this first bullet kind of messes up my spray. Put a muzzle brake on it. DMRs, sort of already talked about it. Pistols, generally you can only put a muzzle brake or a suppressor on a normal pistol. High recoil, quiet, very quiet. Now, for similarity's sake, machine pistols, you can put compensators and flash hiders and extended barrels on different machine pistols. What? Because it's fully automatic. With something that shoots this fast, damage increase might be nice, might not. I don't know. I'm just saying that. Some machine pistols, like the SMG-12, cannot have the barrel attachment changed because there isn't one. See what I was talking about? No barrel attachment. Though it does have a grip, and you can change the sight, and you can put a laser on it. What? Oh wait, look, no grip, but there's a barrel attachment. Wow. The most, I guess, diverse would be the machine pistols, even though there's only a few, just because of that. Now, slug shotguns. There's three slug shotguns in the game. Over under break action, slug shotgun. Super high recoil, like it's not even on the chart. So shoot, give it a second, shoot. If you really want to, I guess you could practice at shooting and pulling down super fast, so you hit them with both. Not usually applicable. Also, with something like this, you load the bullets individually. As soon as you see at the bottom right when you're reloading that it has another bullet in it, you can right click, cancel the animation, and you'll be reloaded. You don't have to wait for the flipping the gun barrel back up. Now the other one, besides the Boss G, the TCSG, semi-automatic magazine-fed slug shotgun. Click fast. There is a sort of drop-off with slug shotguns, so that way you can't body shot someone from across the map. Very, very good. Basically a DMR, not gonna lie, but it breaks walls better. Also, kind of maybe less ammo. Another one similar to the TCSG. The ACS-12. The TCSG-12, ACS-12, because 12 gauge, right? 12 gauge slug. This one is similar to the other one, except it is fully automatic. Shoots kind of slow. You can spam click the TCSG like it's a DMR. This one, slow. Big damage though. Also, still a very good weapon. On defense, there's no magnified sights on any weapons except for DMRs and slug shotguns. Also, they only have magnified, they don't have telescopic. On attack, kind of varies. Telescopic is only for attack. Oh boy, pistols. There's that. Going back to pistols, I should say. There's revolvers. They do more destruction than normal pistols. Small magazine, of course. Lots of damage. Revolvers, high recoil. With the sole exception of course, Deimos which has it's basically the same but with no recoil. Very good very good gun. Also, Nomad and Kaid have a sniper pistol, sorta. Big magnification on that, high recoil, decent damage. Now, if we go over to someone with multiple handguns, about right. Look at the difference. High damage, low magazine size. Slightly lower damage, high magazine size. The ones that do more damage have more recoil. There's multiple different similar handguns. They all follow this rule. You can also see the max capacity of the ammo. Since you hold less, you get more magazines with the smaller ones, of course. Generally, similar ammo capacity. By feel, not in actuality by number, but by feel. Don't spam shoot your pistol all the time. Duh. Okay. I guess now we go to DMRs. DMRs are the only ones with telescopics. Assault rifles, SMGs, and DMRs get magnified on attack. What does this look like? I don't know what this looks like. Yeah. Probably don't use iron sights on a DMR. I mean, you could, but the ADS time, it's not that big of a difference. Just ADS in like pre-fire. Don't use the tiny thing. They gave you the big scope for a reason. You can blast people from far away with a high damage weapon. Utilize it. Of course, same attachments here. DMRs do not get extended barrel, bro. You don't need to be doing more than 70 damage with a DMR. Same thing I said with the pistols, with their, you know, the magazine size and the damage and the RPM, or not RPM, damage and magazine size. Similar with assault rifles and SMGs. Faster it shoots, generally, the smaller the magazine size, and the less damage you do, because you know, make up for it with more bullets. I don't think I'm missing anything except for, actually go back here, the Gon 6. Some gadgets have this. There's only one hand cannon. It's the Gon 6. You get one round. One. Don't waste it. There is a reloading animation. You'll never see it. Unfortunate. Keep in mind, it does sort of have a hitbox to it, because it is a projectile. Guns are hit scan. The Gon 6 is a projectile. You shoot like a little exploding thing. There's no drop on it. Don't worry. It just flies as far as you shoot it. But whenever it hits something, it'll explode, and it has an AoE explosion to it. Doesn't do a lot of damage. It says 0. It's not 0. It does 5 damage. The projectile itself also does 5 damage. Anything that you can throw, smoke grenades hitting someone with that, EMPs hitting someone with that, They all do 5 damage. With the Gon 6, the impact of the projectile does 5, and the explosion does 5. So total 10 if you shoot someone with it. If someone is downed, sometimes when you throw something at them, they won't die. Other times they will. You can kill someone with secondary gadgets, like besides grenades. Even on defense. Like you can throw a proximity mine, it'll do damage. You can reuse them because you can pick them back up. But just keep tossing the procs at them. It'll show a proximity in the kill feed. Very funny. I guess I should go with the gadgets. The gadgets, explosive-wise, are relatively heavily moderated by Ubisoft. I mean grenades. They're kind of picky for grenades. But there's the Claymore, the stun grenade, the frag grenade, the EMP grenade, and the smoke grenade. You throw smoke. Actually, I'll give you a general with everything. There is a 5-second timer with every single grenade type thing. Grenade type gadget. On attack. Not including the impact grenade. Well, actually, yeah. Frag grenades, smoke grenades, stun grenades, and impact grenades. If you throw them into the air after a few seconds, it'll explode and do its thing automatically. If you hit somebody with the gadget, or if you hit a surface with it 2 seconds after it touches that, it'll go off. So keep that in mind for your pushes. Stun grenades, if it's on your screen, if the object is on your screen, you will be flashed. If it is right next to you, or if it flashes something that's an object that you're close enough to it, it'll flash you. If you look away from it, it won't flash you. If you go around the corner, it won't flash you. Even if you see a big flash of light, you're fine. Smoke grenades, they're a bit weird. You'll know that if you use Capitão's gadget. You can sort of see through the edge of smoke. And then you can also see someone who's standing near the edge of smoke when they're inside of it. If your camera from your face is within the very faint edge of the smoke, you will be fully, quote, smoked off, and you won't be able to see anything. You'll get that full gray effect. With Capitão's gadget, if you shoot the thing on the inside of the ceiling, it'll put the smoke on the ceiling, and you can see like a prone level gap beneath it, technically crouched. You can see through it while crouched. But if you crouch through it, you'll still be fully blinded, even though someone could totally see your face perfectly fine from outside. Frag grenades, you can't cook them anymore. You know, they explode. The closer you are to it, the more damage there is. They're a little bit interesting. If you're at the very edge of the damage range, you will take a big chunk of damage. If you're right outside of it, you'll take nothing. Explosive damage through soft walls and ceilings and floors falls off. So if there's an explosion behind a destructible object, you'll take less damage. Sort of applicable to Thorn in a sense. Now we go to impact grenades. Still has the same timer, but it explodes on impact, like the name. Then for the other defender gadgets, barbed wire. Put it on the floor, you can pick it back up. Walking through it makes noise. Drones going through it makes noise. if you're an attacker, melee it twice or hit it once with a sledgehammer or explode it once, and it'll break. It'll be like flattened into the ground, and then it's fine. It'll make no more sound. Once it is punched once, it cannot be picked up. So it'll look fine, you can't pick it up, because it's considered damaged. Defenders can walk through it perfectly fine. Barbed wire can be electrified. Don't put a bandit battery in it, because you can just shoot it. Electrify it with a Cade Claw. Same with deployable shields. You can electrify those with both gadgets. Castle barricades can only be electrified with a Cade Claw. You cannot put a bandit battery at the bottom where you can shoot it with a drone. It just doesn't place. Yes, that's right. Castle barricades can be electrified. Observation blockers. Alright. Everybody can see it. The barrier that it puts up. It extends a little bit above your head. And it creates a opaque barrier when viewed through drones. Defender cameras can see through it. If Brava hacks it, it inverts it so that way defender gadgets cannot see through it and attacker gadgets can. Same with things like, let's say Iana's Gemini clone, the hologram. Functionally a drone. So like Vigil can be invisible to the Gemini clone. For some reason, not for some reason, it makes sense. The Gemini clone has a hitbox, so you can like body block people. Vigil can also block you while he's invisible. Whatever. The way that the observation blockers work, when you put them down on the ground, these things come out the side. It goes out to a maximum certain range. If there's anything that sticks up in its path before then, even if it's like tiny, it'll stop it beforehand. So if there's like a slight raise in the floor, because there's like a wooden beam, it'll stop at the edge. It can go through door frames, but also the same way that something could block it. If it goes on the edge of something, it will stop at the edge. So if you put it at the top of the stairs, it will not stick out over the stairs. It will stop at the top of the stairs. You shoot the center bit to break it. You can't shoot the edge to break it. Then I guess we'll go to bulletproof cameras. Doc? Bulletproof cameras. The front glass and the frame is bulletproof. You shoot it from the side. If you shoot like right here, it might not break. Shoot from the very side, the tops, even the back, it'll break. So if this is put on a soft wall, you can go around to the back and you can shoot it and it'll break it. Shooting this does nothing. It'll put like a certain amount of like bullet impacts on the glass. It won't fully cover it, just punch it. Any explosives will break it. When the glass is punched, you can no longer use the EMP function of the bulletproof camera. You can still hear, you just can't see anything. So still good for sound cues. Hope they punch it instead of breaking it. All electronic devices can be EMP'd. So attackers can EMP the bulletproof camera. They can EMP the observation blockers. The bulletproof camera can EMP drones. It can EMP attackers. When an operator is EMP'd, their gun sight disappears temporarily. And then when the electronics are EMP'd, it'll have like a mute jammer effect. Unfortunately, you cannot EMP a hard breach with this unless the bulletproof is on the same side as the hard breach. It'll have like an AOE when you hit something, but there's no depth to it. It's like a contact lens. Like it's like flat with a slight curve. Can't go through things, but it'll have like a general surface area AOE that you can EMP. Oh boy, I'm tired of talking. Damn. I think I'll go over gadgets later. I'll start with sound. Yeah. Oh. Huh. Custom games. I almost forgot. Local. If you have multiple people playing on the same Wi-Fi, you can do a local game. Some glitches and bugs are like local only and not online. Some things are online only, not local. If you're going to go into a custom game solo, do local. You cannot do a solo online. You have to do solo local. You can have someone join you in online and then they leave and you're in there, but you can't create it solo and then start it. So I'll show you. I made these. That's why they're called something stupid. There's pre-made setups. You can see deathmatch, 1v1s. This is the only time you can play 1v1 outside of the occasional 1v1 event that shows up, in which case you can queue into 1v1s. Same here, basically functions like a normal match. Pro League. This would be the ranked settings of Pro League matches. They're a little bit weird, but you know, I guess you could play it if you want. You can create a custom playlist, in which case you can change the operator HP, the prep phase length, the match length. You can change the map, you can change the amount of rounds, you can change the amount of rounds needed to win, you can change the amount of rounds needed before you swap teams. Very good, very good. You can also make the things extremely long. Whatever. Okay, I would go on defense, but you'll have to bear with me, I guess. Repelling is more important than reinforcing for what I'm trying to show you. Don't take that for like gameplay. Reinforce the site. Let's pick a Nomad. So the way sound works in Siege, if you're in a room that's blocked off, barricades muffle sound.
Located and defused.
Soft walls muffle sound. Just normal walls muffle sound. Sound can go through drone holes. Sort of. Not really. If the hole is small enough, it'll be like... It'll mute it. You can hear people running outside. So there's like sound pollution. That's why people will shoot. Radios. Noisemaker yapper, okay? You want to break those. Oh yeah, you can break stuff with your drone jump. Maybe not that. You can break certain things with your drone. Including glass. Correct. Ignore that. So, let me demonstrate. 5 bullets. 1, 2, 3. My bad. I was on the side of the glass, on the side of the barricade. 3 bullets with a normal gun. Or, sorry, 3 bullets with a pistol on the glass side to break the glass. I believe it's... I think it's 3 for everything, actually. And long range, too. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If it's through a barricade, you shoot it 5 times. Then you break it. You can place gadgets onto barricades when there's glass in front. It'll break the glass. It used to be like where you could put a soft breach on the glass. Now you just push through it because you're the Hulk or something. So when someone is on rappel, they will make idle sounds of just the line in the wind under tension. So let's go over the sounds of rappel. Going on to rappel from below. You hear the tension a little bit. You make sound when you walk around. You can alt walk while you're on rappel. If you wait a minute, you can hear the tension sound again. You can walk over glass. You can also swing like you're gonna enter it. If you do that while you're on the glass, you'll push on it and then you'll break it. Now, inverting. There's a slight difference. Going down in pitch, turning upside down. Increasing in pitch, turning right side up. Getting off of rappel from above. That's the sound. It made a more metallic sound because this is metal. If you're rappelling from the roof, it'll make a different sound, and you'll always start upside down. Exiting onto the ground. That's the sound. Now, very quiet. You can't really hear the tension, can you? Right? Now, if you were to break the glass, you could hear the subtle tension sounds. The glass blocks sound. When you're inside and someone gets on rappel, when the glass is broken, it's about 20 times louder than when it's not broken. Break the glass from the inside. Once again, I will demonstrate the 5 bullet thing, which I guess I haven't demonstrated yet. When you're inside in the prep phase, five bullets. If you shoot the if you shoot the same segment multiple times, it'll break the wood. Shoot different spots so that way the barricade is still intact. I believe it's 20 bullets into a barricade where it'll stay intact, and then the 21st bullet breaks it. Real quick before I demonstrate. This area is about one little chunk of the barricade. So it's in a single door is in 3 segments per board. So real quick. 21 bullets breaks it. So if you don't want to punch it 2 times and vault in, or punch it 3 times to break it, you can just dump some ammo into it, drone it, then when you're ready to go in, shoot the last like 3 bullets or whatever, and then it's broken and you can swing in. technically it's a lot more discreet, especially if you have a suppressor. Now for breaking the actual wood. It depends on the destructibility of your weapon. So high damage or high destructibility weapons will instantly break the board chunk. Something such as Kali, even it will just like... Actually, Kali will break the whole thing when she shoots it. But, you know, it's a little bit of an outlier because it's a sniper. You can prep a barricade by punching it twice. Looks perfectly fine from the outside. If you were to look at this window from the outside, since I haven't shot the glass, it'll just look normal. You can vault out this. The glass is intact. The barricade looks intact from the outside. You can jump through. Element of surprise, I guess, but it's loud. You could also break the glass first and then prep it, and then it'll just be the barricade sound. I can't exactly repair it to show you. But it'll just be the normal barricade sound. So, minus the melee sound when they break this. That's the sound people will hear when you jump out. Ish. Now, sometimes, you might want to leave the glass intact and then break a small segment if you want to spawn peek. I'll show you how to do that. So, common spawn peek. Well, relatively common. I haven't seen people spawn peek as much. You could break a side of this barricade. Ideally, you want to know the angle before you break it. So, that'll go out into spawn, right? From the front into SWAT cars. I guess this would be a better angle. So I would want to break this board. I don't want to break the glass because the glass broken is a big giveaway. So you shoot either into the frame without shooting the glass or into the side of the barricade. Like behind the yellow strip. Yeah, it is debris, so you gotta move it sometimes. But this, very discreet way of spawn peeking. You don't make a lot of sound, because the glass also blocks sound. The glass is unbroken, and the barricade is mostly intact. If you rip down the barricade, also kind of obvious that you're spawn peeking. Sometimes, depending on the environment, it is advantageous to rip down the barricade if your operator blends in with the surrounding. So if you're in a dark area in your visual, rip down the thing, stand further back, and then they see like a black void. While they're out there, this inside area will look darker. So that's to your advantage because they're out in the sun. Okay, buckles. When someone goes through a window barricade, their head will generally, as they swoop in, be kind of near this buckle. This is above your head level when you're standing. This one is your crouch head level. Now if we go to a normal door barricade, same with double doors, there's the buckles. This one, perfectly flat head level. This one is below your head level. In this case, you would line it up with that rivet. Two above, the rivet straight ahead. If you have trouble keeping your gun at an angle that's straight on, and you see a barricade, line it up with the buckle. And that's a good example of where you should keep your gun at. So if I were to swing this, this is buckle level. You can see that one over there. It's a little bit above because that's a window. But with this one, if I were to go back, someone's on the door, I swing, I see the buckle. If this were broken, I could line up with that buckle first. Perfectly head level. Keep this to, you know, use this to keep your aim in check if you're going around. Now, sneaking through, you can make a crouch roll like that. You just crouch through. If this board is not broken, you can sort of rubber band through when leaning. It's easier if you shoot out one of these two segments. This is a crouch roll. Barricade remains intact. They don't get that whole barricade break sound effect. So if you're sneakily entering, you can do that. You can also enter in while prone. This is not enough. You could break that one. Then you can go through. Okay. Now, the debris is gone because this was a barricade. Barricades will kind of lose their debris. With destructibles such as soft walls or floors, these boards, they're going to stay here. You have legs. These are moving or free-floating objects. When you walk in debris, it makes sound. You can use this to your advantage to set up a flank by creating debris. If there's no wall to break, and there's a destructible ceiling, okay, maybe not the best ceiling for this example. Imagine like wood fell down. Here, hold on. Actually, this might work. Okay. Chunks fell out. If you're planting and you want to like listen closely for them sneaking up around, you can leave stuff, debris on the floor. Now, the way to increase what you hear is very easy. First of all, make sure your audio is in night mode. Options, audio, dynamic range low. Also, change tinnitus sound effects to muted so that way, you know, you don't hear all that. First of all, breaking the glass behind a barricade increases the sound. Breaking the barricade increases the sound even more, but if you want to keep the barrier up, keep the barricade, just break the glass. Now, when I was in sight, you could hear the bomb beeping. Listen to that beep. Yeah, pretty loud. Right? Gets quieter. Gets quieter. AC, making sound. Sound pollution. I don't know if you can break that. Maybe not. Maybe if you have a bomb. Who knows? So, if you're trying to listen, make sure you're being quiet. Turning. Your feet are adjusting. You make sound. Leaning. You make sound. ADSing. Un-ADSing. You make sound. Moving. You make sound. Stopping does not make sound. Stopping while crouch. Stopping while crouched makes sound. Actually, maybe stopping while walking makes sound, but I can't really hear it. It's a lot louder if you're hearing someone else do it. You can no longer hear the bomb beep. Sound dissipates over space. Here. You can hear the bomb beeping in there, right? You can hear things generally. Like, I'll be in this room adjacent to it. Can't really hear it. Right up to it. Can't hear it. Punch one hole. What? Okay, that was supposed to do a thing. Oh, right. I forgot. I said this earlier. Like with the drone hole, If the hole is small enough, sound just won't go through it. If you were to shoot a hole, the bomb beeping is back. Works identically with ceilings and floors. Beep, beep. When people are walking above you, you can hear them. Even if they're alt walking, even if they're crouched alt walking, you can hear their little footsteps. A lot easier to hear someone above you than below you when they're being quiet. And they're just a floor below. Now, if there's something like this staircase that connects you, if there's someone over there, you would be able to hear them. If they were sprinting, it kind of doesn't matter where you are as long as you're relatively in the same area of the building. If someone is sprinting, you will hear them. If someone's sprinting on the roof, well, you'll definitely hear them. But even if they're walking up there, sprinting outside, you'll hear them. Generally never sprint unless you're super far off of where you need to be and you know you're safe. If you're outside in spawn, you can sprint. When you get closer to the building, stop, be quiet, check for spawn peaks. Might not know how to peek like that. But just like get closer. If you hear any shifting, just peek for a second, you know, with like no tech, right? If it's safe, go for it. Walk ahead. Now remember what I said with the prepped windows. Just because it seems safe doesn't mean it's immediately safe to go sprinting again. Super obvious. If someone does prep a window and you sprint right next to them, they're going to hop out. Why? I'm going to hold left click. The time when they start to slow down the shooting, you have a delay between sprinting and firing. Except for Warden. Warden does not, because he's chill like that. More sound. Gadgets. Lots of gadgets make sound. The same thing with sound traveling through things. Let's see you put an air jab on there. It makes it sound when I deploy it. It makes it sound near it. Usually, you know, you'll be able to hear when you get closer. You can't hear it if it's through the wall. Some sounds are too quiet, and it doesn't really matter. Someone's walking behind the wall, you can hear that. Someone melees, you can hear it. The quote subtle sounds may be super loud when you're next to it, but most operator sounds can be heard through walls anyways. Now, when you hear a gadget like this, the first thing you're not gonna do is say, "Oh, what's that?" Swing wide, and then you get air jabbed back and shot. I'm using Nomad as the example. It could be other gadgets. You can even, okay. Another thing, claymores don't make sound. When you deploy a claymore, it makes sound. So if you hear like a little click, that's someone putting claymore down. So if you prep a window and you hear claymore, if you hear what side they put it on, then I guess you could hop out. If you don't know but you just hear click coming from the general area, don't hop out. Even if you have like an impact, just don't do it. People tend to put anti-entry or flank watch gadgets on the door frame of a door. This is common placement because it's sort of out of their way. It's less distracting for the attackers, and it's up. You have to look away to shoot it, right? Let's say this was on this side. No, 'cause whatever. They're over there, right? But if I want to get to the air jab, I have to look this way. Oh no, that could open me up to getting shot from here if I'm not paying attention. So, putting stuff out of the way is good, but if it's predictable, in line with the door, you'll see that sometimes. It's a little bit too much beeping for me. You hear the air jab? By the time you swing the door, boom, you're in the way. You'll get air jabbed back. With gadgets in general that are good for keeping watch on flank, don't always put them in the most obvious spot. Also, you can create diversions. Let's say I made a hole there with claymore lasers coming out here, and I didn't want them to shoot it. Maybe you put it a little bit further back, like in the middle of the wall. How would you get them to not look at that when they're going up the stairs and they would see a laser? Well, look at that. There's a door. Someone could be in there. You know what you could do? You could put a drone over there so they look at the drone and they swing up. They see the drone. You could put, you know, maybe make a hole in the wall. Someone's more likely to be in the room that shows evidence of someone being there than them not. You could also bait them into walking into it. Be distracting. Move around, they'll walk into your trap. Then, if it's something that kills them, then they'll die to it. If it's something that is like an air jab and it stuns them and gives you an opportunity to swing them while they're stunned, then you swing. You could also just chill back there. You could put a gadget back there that makes noise, and they'll be more inclined to see it and look away. Whole bunch of things you can do. Now, the diffuser. Planting the diffuser. Two things that you will commonly hear is faking a plant and sticking a plant. What does that mean? Well, faking it makes so it makes sound. When you plant, typing sounds, right? So you could start typing. That's faking a plant. You make the planting sound effects to try and mimic the plant. The enemy pushes up, trying to kill you while you're planting, and you have your gun up. Sticking the plant is actually planting. Just planting the diffuser. Usually it's in the context of, like, someone's trying to get the plant off. Oh, he's trying to get the plant off. That means he's trying to plant while sight is not fully clear. The attackers did not fully get rid of the defenders in that area. And they're trying to plant it from under your nose. And, you know, then they can just hold that.
Diffuser is active. Protected at all costs.
Diffuser's active. Alright, listen to this. The diffuser makes a whirring sound. When the plant is happening, you'll always hear that beep 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 from the bomb. The whirring is quiet. When you get closer, the whirring gets a lot louder. I've seen people miss the diffuser so many times, they forget that the diffuser makes sound. Listen for the whirring. Hear the location of the diffuser. Also, hide it. Unless they see it, or they see it on cams, the location of the diffuser is not revealed. If anyone on their team sees it, it'll show the location of the diffuser behind the walls. Now for defense, oh boy. Now for the reinforcements. Generally, you're going to want to hear where someone's pushing from, especially if it could affect where you are playing. So let's go with, let's say you don't have a hard breacher on your team. Let's say you're mute. Sorry, Let's say you don't have a hard breach denial on your team and you're mute. Mute sort of is, except for
Bomb
Ace.
location secure.
That's also why they banned Ace now, because he's already really good. Alright. I'll give an example of the sound, right? Another thing, pulling out C4 makes a sound. Pulling your gun out makes a sound. Swapping your weapon makes a sound. Everything makes sound in this game. Okay, that makes sound. Huh, a lot. When you get close to something that Nitro Cell's on, maybe not so much. If it was on this wall, you would be able to hear it faintly. If it was on the floor underneath you, like on the ceiling of the floor below, you would hear it when you're getting close to it. Now, you can hear it, right? It registered that the siege registered the hole. You can hear it as if this wall was not here. Now, if I were to reinforce it, it's already quieter. Here, make a bigger gap. You can still hear the Nitro Cell. Perfectly protected off, but you can still hear what's going on the opposite side of the wall because you made a hole. Always do that. Now, if someone were to break that barricade, you would hear it because of that hole. Now, you might hear it because of this, and you would infer it's over there, but it could also be, something somewhere else. That is closer to the door. Easier to tell for the sound. Another thing, this looks directly on the site. Okay, maybe shot one too many. Always shoot this glass. Any windows directly on the site, shoot the glass. Okay? Now with sound through walls, I took the C4, I took the Nitro, you can't hear it anymore. But, remember that thing about sound pollution? Standing on the mute jammer will block your sound a little bit. Unless it's loud, obviously. Now, another thing. I should have done this when I was on attack. I blew out all the windows. But, remember how you have to shoot it multiple times before you break it? I just broke the middle of the barricade without breaking the glass. There's a crack in it now. Right? And since the glass is still here, it's dampened. Sound on the other side is dampened. So let's say top floor of cafe, there's those windows overlooking the area with the piano. Someone could do this as an attacker, shooting through the bullet hole they already made in the glass. That is not enough to let a whole bunch of sound through. This tiny hole in the barricade barely lets sound through. So you might not even know that they're there, especially if they have a suppressor. Once again, good thing for stealth. They could be on a window, repelled, looking into sight through the barricade, and you wouldn't know that they're there unless you look at them. Sound is everything. Concealing your sound is also everything. Look, I got 2 bullet holes. If I shoot one more, gone. Now you hear the wind. Now you hear the windmill. Now you hear the birds. Right? Now, all your sound is way louder for the enemy than it is for you. Now you're walking around all quiet. They can hear you like this. Like the way that you would hear yourself walking, they hear you alt walking. Unless it's like Caveira. because she's quiet. Keep that in mind whenever you're doing anything. Something else you can do, remember that thing about sound pollution? You can make distractions. Ram, throwing a buggy in somewhere, activating it, trudging along the floor, making sound. It's a distraction. So much sound pollution from the gadget, you can sneak in top white maybe. Since it's remote activatable, gadgets that are remotely activatable and make a lot of sound, good for diversions. So fuse, ram, anyone with a soft breach, thermite. So many possibilities. Now, remember that thing about debris? Including drones going through debris will make sound, right? If you want to hide, this is right in debris. If I want to hide in the debris, I would not move. I wouldn't look around. If I look around, my legs will shift. It'll move the debris. It'll give my position away. It's kind of the waiting game. You can sort of look up and down. But if you look left to right, you'll shift around, you see the legs. If something's closer to your front than your back while you're prone, you'll shift your legs to the opposite side. Now I'm on my belly. Now I'm on my back. Moves this a lot. Very loud. Oh my gosh. This is a vault rotate. Now in this case, I would be the trap. Right? They see this? They might be inclined to check. They might not. Same thing where you put frost mats on the window. Put it on the vault. Also, put a frost mat down. Make a little thing like that. Make a little hole. Then you place it down. Just the metal frame of the frost mat will stick up. It makes it blend in more. They'll be less likely to notice the trap when they don't see a giant black rectangle over a brown floor. Especially with this, you could put it in the middle of this, honestly. See how it's got thickness to it? Do the same thing in that, it'll basically be invisible. Same thing with the carpet, works with Kiba barriers. Operator synergies. You put a frost mat down in the little hole, and you put a Kiba barrier on top. It's just a Kiba on the floor, but there's a frost mat under it. When they walk over the Kiba barrier, they'll be stepping on the frost mat. They'll get trapped. Oh, there's so much to talk about in Siege. Drones make noise. What? Who would have known? That's how you hear them running around. You can run with the drone sorta. They have like a little stamina bar that doesn't recharge. They just get like 3 separate stamina bars. Once one runs out, there's a short cooldown, and then they can do it again. Jumping has a short cooldown. When drones jump, they make a sound. When they land, they make another sound. You can sort of tell where they are based on the sounds that the drones are making. It's always with context clues. Everything about Siege is hearing a sound, the general direction the sound is coming from, and why that sound is coming from that direction. Now, I reinforced that. Maybe not the best example. Let's go with right here, okay? Let's say you're pushing in the site, then you hear a shotgun hole, and then you hear the Velcro, and you're right here, and you just saw that fly out of the way. What that tells you is, when you're right there, there's another guy that just made a hole, pulled his nitro out, he's going to try and get you through the door. Now, this is more niche. It'll happen. Most of the time, there'll be a reinforced wall someone will break something over it, and they throw nitro over the wall because they're in a safe spot. Sort of. You could throw a nade over. You know where they are, right? If there's not a reinforcement in between you, you're here. They made a hole. They pulled out their nitro cell. In order for them to throw it where you are, they have to be pretty much on the opposite side of the wall from you. You just spray, you'll probably get a kill. They have to line up with you and the environment in order to throw something directly towards you. They're making themselves open. You can't see them, but with sound and the power of inferring where they are, you know, you'll know that they'll be right there. Standing, crouching, and proning all make different sounds. Going down makes sort of a deeper tone than standing up. Proning is super loud. The sound is also longer. Same thing. Lower pitch, more bass to it, higher pitch, going up. So that'll tell you how they changed their stance. So you hear the unprone sound, you know that they're standing now, even though it could have been anything else. It could have been crouch sound, could have been leaning, but you hear the unprone sound, you know that they're standing. You hear the prone sound, you know they're on the floor. So you look where the sound tells you. You hear someone prone, you look at the floor. With proning, during the animation of proning and unproning, it slows you down relatively. So where you hear the sound, you could pre-fire it, and they'll probably still be there because they can't really move. Another thing, crawling. It makes so much sound. Don't. If I ever hear you proning around on the floor, I know I'm just gonna like go away from you, cause I know that they're gonna throw a bomb on you or they're gonna pre-fire. They hear a little army crawling chud on the floor. You're so cooked. Just don't do it. If you're gonna do something prone, make sure you prone out of earshot or something. Now, probably the last thing I'm gonna make in this recording. Directionality of shooting. Shotguns have a spread. It's a cone. There's a cone from your barrel towards the way you're looking. Close up, compact. Far away, widespread. What does that mean? Well, another thing, you can break, like, I don't want to hit the fire extinguisher. You can break the inner side of a wall to make more sound while it looks intact on the outside. See how, since it's a cone, some of the stuff went through the wall? No. There's something there, there, and there. Now this isn't a lot. It's not a lot of spread. I'll do a higher up one. That had more of my spread reticle on the soft wall. But not a whole lot goes through. It doesn't really count the bullet hole unless it's like going perpendicular to it. If it goes straight through, you kind of can't shoot it. But seeing stuff like this will tell you either somebody was spraying, which that doesn't look right. Look at the size. Okay? Size of the bullet will tell you as well. I never really think about that, honestly. But like straight on, it's pretty saturated, right? But with this, it's like a chunk out of it, and then some when you charcoal on it. Anyways, that sort of thing, if you're looking out for it, could tell you, I imagine that wasn't broken, that they made the inside of this wall thinner, like what I did. more obvious on some walls. Okay. Also, that. Look. Where'd this shot from? Hole? Hole, hole. Damage. Well, since the hole is there, but there's bullet holes right next to it associated with it, they didn't shoot through it, they shot from an angle. Now, this one's more obvious. There's a hole through it. The side on this side is to the right. The side on the other side is to the left. Obviously, that shows the angle it was shot from. So, that one is way more applicable. Because, like, let's say someone does this. If you're coming up white stairs, you see that there's a hole there. The point of this is to watch you from the stairs. It'll be more obvious that they're watching you if they deliberately make these holes at an angle designed to watch it. Now, if they make a full head hole thing, it's less obvious. Now, obviously, you're going to watch it because it's more open, but someone could also be over there. You can use that to your advantage with misdirection. Remember how I made that first hole and it was that way? Honestly, if someone goes up these stairs and you wait here while it's just the small hole at a direction, you can see through that way easily. You wouldn't be able to see through that way easily. But since it's open, you could hear him. Then he's walking right there, you shoot. A lot of the things that said with the directionality is more complicated, but, you know. Eventually it might be applicable to what you're doing. Another thing with bullets and sound. You'll see the tracers of shots as well. If someone shoots you from here, like this way, and it's through here, even if this does not have a hole in it, if bullets go through here towards you, they're gonna be generally here in this corner, behind this wall towards there, or from that door. Now, here's the very, very applicable part. The angle downwards or upwards. If you were to shoot down the stairs, the only spot where you could do that without being right up at the stairs is on a higher vantage point to look down the stairs while you're farther back. If someone shoots down the stairs like this, and you know that they're not right here, maybe they're shooting slightly muffled, and they shoot down the stairs, you know they have to be up here. You could spray them through the wall and kill them. Now, maybe, oh, what if they're not there? Here's an easy way to tell if they've moved off of the vantage point. Thud. Dropping off of objects makes a lot of noise. When you vault, it makes noise. While standing, while crouched, it's a little bit slower. There's no way to get down off of something unless it's a slope without making noise. You have to thud, okay? Also, where the thud comes from tells you where they're going. So if you hear a thud going back that way, after you shoot, likely they're gonna run away towards the bulletproof thing, right? You hear the thud, you spray through the wall in between the thud and the bulletproof thing, which is that they walk. They don't have enough time to react to the bullets an inch in front of their face. You get a kill without ever seeing them and without ever taking a gunfight. Fantastic. I'm gonna take a break before I hit the operator explanation segment. So, hope this made sense. I know towards the end it got more complex. Bear with me. This game has a high skill ceiling, but a lot of times, some of the things I said are never gonna happen in a normal game. Like the thing with the direction of that. Like with that, I mean, you're never gonna use that. You could, if you go pro. I don't know. But more importantly, one of the reasons why I'm doing this, one of the best ways to learn is to teach. I have to think about this in order to tell you it. And, oh yeah, another thing. You could put a Valk cam right there and shoot that. Okay? It'll be broken, but they relatively sort of can't see through that. And you can hide a cam and see through these gaps. And since you're close to the gaps with your camera, it's easier to see through than when you're farther away and it's tiny. Same thing with a punch hole. Tiny. Oh, look at how much you could see. The whole area. Now, since you're newer, you will probably try on your own to play around your gadget rather than your gun, which is good because you need to learn how to do that. A lot of people start egoing and they try and play it like it's COD. Getting a vantage point doesn't even have to be like high up, just safe spot where you can hurt someone else and they can't hurt you. Okay, that was lucky, supposed to go over, but here's one. Hold on, let me get V-line up real quick. Bro, never mind. Anyways, you understand. Playing around your gadget, very important. And it'll give you opportunities to make you conscious of your positioning relative to the enemy and relative to what is in between you. You know, don't pull out a nitro in the middle of a door frame, because while you do that, you have your gun up. I know I shot it, but like, boop. Imagine I had my nitro out. I'm out here, wide swinging, with my gun down, gadget out, and for them, there's just a dude standing right there with no gun. Keep it in mind. Okay. I'm dragging it on. Now let's see if this was all for naught by checking metal. Oh boy.